Hello everyone, my name is MusaboriMan, and I'm here to talk to you about whether the game Tales of Vesperia is overrated or highly rated. Keep in mind, I'm speaking in terms of whether the game is overrated among the Tales of series fan base, and not based on whatever scores critics gave the game back when it came out in 2008. Many fans of the long-running Japanese RPG series would tell you Vesperia is either one of the best or the best 3D Tales game. But are they overhyping it, or simply giving it the praise it deserves? Let's get into it, shall we? Tales of Vesperia is the 10th entry in the Tales series catalog released by Namco Bandai, which currently spans 14 main games and a handful of spin-offs. Tales of Vesperia, like pretty much all the other Tales games, features a real-time battle system and anime-style character designs. The game was released on the Xbox 360 worldwide in August 2008, and later in 2009 had a Japanese-only PS3 port, which had exclusive bonus content, such as 2 new playable characters, and other content. Now, before we can decide whether Vesperia is overrated or highly rated, we'll first need to settle on a definition of the word overrated. The definition of overrated I will be using is having a higher opinion of someone or something than is deserved. In order to discuss this properly, I'm going to bring up a list of the pros and cons that fans of the series tend to bring up when talking about this game. Let's start with the pros. Most people, when talking about Vesperia, will agree that it has a colorful, vibrant world, and with its anime 3D cel-shaded style. Even people who don't like this game very much will agree that no Tales game has looked quite as good since. Going hand in hand with that, most people praise the character models of this game. Even though their proportions are a little strange, they look the closest to their original concept art compared to a lot of other games. At least that's what I hear from a lot of people. Also, a lot of people praise the use and design of the world map in this game. It's just so expansive and colorful, and everything looks nice and smooth the whole way through the game. It's very consistent. The next thing to talk about would be the characters. Tales of Vesperia's main character, Yuri Lowell, is a character that has topped popularity polls in Japan so much he was removed from them and put in the Hall of Fame with another character. He seems to be just as popular in the US, or at least close to being that popular. People also praise the strong characterization of the party members, who are all generally likable. Also, the party is said to have great chemistry in that they really feel like a family. The game is also praised for its good voice acting in both the Japanese and English versions. The game is considered to have one of the best English dubs in the series. Another thing the game is praised for is its fun take on the Tales staple linear motion battle system. The deep and rewarding combat system really takes time to master. You honestly learn more each time you play. You could just do a simple run straight through this game and not really go beneath the surface in terms of what players are capable of in this game. People also like Fatal Strikes, which is a technique that one-hit kills normal enemies or does high damage to bosses when you knock them off balance. People also praise the unique playable cast members. With 7 different playstyles, there's really a playstyle for everyone here, and it actually takes time to master and learn each character. Tales of Vesperia also boasts quite a large amount of content. There are lots of skills you can acquire from weapons, which you can synthesize. There are many arts, which are special attacks to learn. There's an extra dungeon. There are cameo bosses, which are guest characters that come from other Tales games that you can fight. And the PS3 version adds even more content. There are 9 playable characters instead of 7, a second extra dungeon, more costumes, mini-games, team battles in the game's Coliseum. There are additional mystic arts, which are super strong finisher moves, and there's even more content than what I've listed here. So, those were some of the most common good things I hear said about the game when people discuss it. However, people talking about Vesperia also say bad things about it, believe it or not. Here are some of the cons I tend to hear about the game. One of the most important cons I hear about the game is that its plot isn't as cohesive as it could be. There are 3 parts or arcs to the game's story, and people tend to say that the 3 parts feel a bit disconnected from one another, with most people agreeing that the final third feels the least connected to the first 2 parts. This could be related to the fact that there were 3 writers who worked together on this particular game. Interesting themes that are brought up in the first 2 parts are either dropped or resolved in a dissatisfying way by the end of the game. Another complaint about this game that I hear a lot is that it takes a long time in-game to acquire all the skills necessary to make full use of the combat. A few people also complain that the game's combat is broken, but honestly I don't feel like the game can be broken until you're very late in the game anyway, and at that point there's enough of a challenge to counterbalance this. Another complaint I hear is that some people don't like certain party members, such as Rita or Carol. However, with any Tales game or any game in general, there are going to be people who don't like certain characters, so this one isn't really a strong complaint. Another complaint is that one of your party members, Estelle, in the Xbox 360 version of the game doesn't have the best AI, and I have personally experienced this myself as well, so I kind of agree with this one. She's supposed to be the healer of the group, but she doesn't always heal you when you really need it, despite being able to set her AI to behave in certain ways in the game's strategy menu. Like other Tales games, she'll often ignore your strategy settings and do whatever she wants. From my personal experience though, Estelle's AI seems to be much better in the PS3 port, so they must have fixed it. The last con I have to mention is kind of not really a con per se, it's just a complaint I hear a lot, and that's that the US and Europe never got the PS3 version of Vesperia. It has not been released outside of Japan, and this is certainly unfortunate, but it's technically not really a problem with the game itself, but rather Namco's policies. So, those were the pros and cons I tend to hear brought up when people are discussing this game. But does that make this game overrated or highly rated? Ultimately, I think it comes down to personal opinion. If somebody considers the game overrated, it means that they think that all the people who do like it are rating it higher than it deserves to be. In my personal opinion and experience, however, I've seen that there are a lot of people who praise this game, and a lot of people like it a lot, and I think that's something that should be taken seriously. I don't think the game is overrated, because the people who do praise this game are aware of its flaws and will bring it up. I think people who like this game a lot are sensible human beings and recognize that even great things come with flaws. But ultimately, I think that Vesperia is pretty much rated just how it should be. It's a good game, but it has some flaws. But overall, it's definitely a game worthy of your time. If you have an Xbox 360 and haven't tried out this game, go get it. Unless, of course, you understand some Japanese, have a PS3, and would like to import it. There are some subtitled playthroughs, and I believe there's a translation project. I don't know if it's finished or not yet, but I think it should be by now. I definitely think that this game is worth playing for Tales fans, RPG fans, or just video game fans in general. Thank you.